Hey guys, and welcome back to 60 Degree Studio, where we talk about filmmaking and everything around it. And today we're going to be talking about how to do a basic color grading in Premiere Pro. And we are yet again in Adobe Premiere Pro. But before we start things, let me tell you one thing, that there are different ways to color grade your footage. I will show you a basic, quick yet effective way to color grade your footage in this video. So first of all, we will make an adjustment layer and drop that adjustment layer on top of our footage. The next step is to add lumetri color on this adjustment layer. Now we will correct the white balance of this footage. To do that, let me just quickly zoom in. So if your subject is a human, then color correcting your white balance is pretty easy. All you have to do is click on this picker in the basic correction section of your lumetri color effect. So click on it and choose the white color of the eyeball of your subject, and there we go. So if you're not happy with the result, you can always do further customization with the temperature and the tint from here and the saturation as well. So for me, it's looking a bit too warm, so I will just slide it towards a bit of blue. There's a bit of magenta as well in the footage, so I will slide it left towards green, and there we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. By the way, if your subject is not a human, then you can pick the color of the object, which is pure white, in the footage. So the next step will be to correct the exposure. So in the light section, you can correct your exposure with these options. I will explain them. So the exposure settings is used to increase or decrease the overall exposure of the footage. Contrast is used to increase the difference in highlights and shadows. Highlights can change the exposure parts of the footage that comes in between midtone and whites. Shadows can change the exposure parts of the footage that comes in between midtone and blacks. Whites controls the most highlighted parts of the footage, whereas black controls the darkest parts of the footage. So whenever we shoot a video for 60 Degree Studio, we usually go for a correct exposure so that we don't have to do much post-processing. But in this footage, I still think that we can increase a bit of whites and a bit of blacks to give that a bit of contrast and increase exposure by 0.2. I think that's a good color correction and it looks good to me. So it really depends on your editing style and the mood of the footage. So if you want more contrast in the footage, then you can also increase highlights as well and decrease shadows. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will avoid using contrast because it won't give you that much control over highlights, shadows and whites and blacks. So it's wise to play with these four settings if you want a good contrast. So the last step will be to color grade your footage. So to do a basic color grade, we will come to creative section. Here you can introduce different LUTs by clicking on this look bar and scrolling down. There are some already imported LUTs that you can use. Plus you can browse and import your own personal LUTs into the footage as well. So I have 60 degree LUTs cube and I will introduce it. So as you can see, it's a bit too much. You can increase or decrease the intensity from this slider. So I will just reduce it to 30. There we go. So if you're still not happy with the result, you can go back to basic section and increase or decrease the exposure or your contrast. So I'm seeing a bit of too much white, and there we go. Yeah. But if you don't have any kind of LUTs, then you can do a manual color grade with the shadow tint and highlight tint. You can also control the tint balance from this slider. So I will increase the shadow tint towards the blue color. As you can see, a blue tint has been introduced in the shadows of the footage. As I increase it, it will be too much, so I will just keep it till here. And I will give a bit of yellow to the highlighted tint. I think this will be nice. Okay. You can further increase or decrease a particular tint in your footage with this tint balance. So if I want more shadow tint than highlighted tint, then I can increase it towards right, and you can see that it is more bluish rather than warmth. And if I want more highlighted tint, then I will slide it towards left. As you can see, it's more warmth as compared to before. So play around with this and other settings as well to go for a look which suits you. Now I will tell you why we did the color grading on the adjustment layer rather than on the footage itself. So when you're done, you can increase the adjustment layer and place it on footages which needs the same color grading, making it easy to color grade multiple clips without a sweat. So yeah, that's how you do a basic and quick color grade on your footages in Premiere Pro. I hope you find this video interesting and helpful, and if you did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content like this one. We will see you all in the next video. Till then, bye bye and keep grading.